ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਜੇ ਮਾਇਆ ਮਮਤਾ ਤਜੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਭਇਓ ਉਦਾਸ। ਕਹੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਨ ਰੇ ਮਨਾ ਤਿਹ ਘਟ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਨਿਵਾਸ। ਕਹੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੁਨ ਰੇ ਮਨਾ ਤਿਹ ਘਟ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਨਿਵਾਸ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ। In the Bani of Salok Mahalla 9, then Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Sache Paatshah say that Jeh Maya Mamata Taji Sab Te Peo Udas. And then now in this 18th Salok, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Paatshah says Jeh Maya. Maya means illusion. Maya means that what is impermanent. Jeh Maya Mamata Taji. When I don't recognize this Maya, and I see everything to be the truth and permanent, and then I see it to be mine. Jeh Maya Mamata Taji, Mero Mero Sabha Kahat Hai, Hitasyo Lagyo Cheet. Paatshah Ji saying here that but Maharaj here is talking about those that have gone beyond, that have left this behind, that isn't then taken over by possessiveness and recognizes the truth. But is it those that have gone and recognized the truth of what Maya is and isn't then lured by this Maya, and Mamta possessiveness doesn't take them over. Jeh Maya Mamta Taji Sab Te Peo Udas, and remain detached from everything. Kaho Nanak Sun Re Mana Teh Kat Brahm Nivas. They have the presence of God residing inside of them. Everybody has the presence of God residing inside of them. But now for them, they have realized the presence of God inside of them. So they have everything. For that reason, then they don't need those things around them to try and satisfy their inner self. And because remember, if we've not realized that one inside, then that one inside for us might as well not even be there, because we're not utilizing that one. But that one is there for those that have recognized that one. Teh Kat means heart. Brahm Nivas, they have got that one residing inside of the core of them. So to understand this in practical terms, that Jeh Maya Mamata Taji Sab Te Peo Udas, what it actually means to be completely detached from everything and everyone. So Sangatji, to see this in practical terms, that what does it actually mean to be udas, to be completely detached from everything, that Jeh Maya Mamata Taji, to give up that possessiveness and feel that this is mine, and not having that any form of attachment. So when that time came for Bhakt Namadev Ji in his life, he was arrested by the emperor of that time and the ruler of that time. And what he wanted to do was because Bhakt Namadev Ji was becoming so known and famous for being this great Bhagat, and people had heard that Bhakt Namadev Ji have actually had a darshan of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, and that he gave milk to the idol as well. And when he gave milk to that idol, that the idol actually drank that milk. So people are hearing that he can create miracles. But little do they know, it's not that Bhakt Namadev Ji went out his ways and he didn't obtain any powers to then actually perform miracles. But instead, Bhakt Namadev Ji just doing their bhakti, certain things that just would happen. So when the Badshah of that time arrests Bhakt Namadev Ji, one of the conditions were that you actually bring a dead cow back to life. There was a dead cow there. And he said, I want you to bring this dead cow back to life and show us your powers and show us these miracles that you actually have. But Bhakt Namadev Ji refused, outright refused. Bhakt Namadev Ji said that it is in the will of God and I haven't got any power to do anything myself. That Bhakt remaining in Imana, remaining humble and not showing any miracle of any form. What did the Badshah say? If you don't give in to any of these conditions, then I'm going to let an elephant loose towards your direction to stample and kill you, to go all over you. At this point, what happened, Bhakt Namdev Ji's mother was watching. Bhakt Namdev Ji write themselves in their own Bani, and we've got that today in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, where they're writing about their own life, and they're saying, Rudan kare name ki mai. They said, at that point, when that elephant was going to attack me, because the elephant was let loose, because Bhakt Namdev Ji refused any of the things that the Badshah was saying, the king was saying. And as that elephant is coming and charging towards Bhakt Namdev Ji, Bhakt Namdev Ji's mother starts to cry. Bhakt Ji is telling us themselves, this is Rudan kare name ki mae. And then at that point, then what did she say? What did she want from her son? She said, Shor Ram ki na pajhe ko dhaye. She said, why don't you just forget this name that you're reciting of Ram? If that's all it is, if it just means changing faith, what does it matter? Just follow their faith. And remember, Sangat Ji, this isn't about the name that is used to recite God's name, because Bhakt Namdev Ji had no discrimination with using any name, because even within their own Bani, they prove that they used different names for God as well. And there's already a video on our channel that you can watch on Bhakt Namdev Ji that goes into the details of that as well. Na Pajhe Khudaye, just say the name of Khuda and say that name instead. Meaning, why don't you just change your religion? Why? Because she was so attached to him. She had so much that feeling of mamata, that feeling of mine over him, that he belongs to me, this is my son. And she's even willing to go and allow him to change and give in to these people that are forcing him. And like we spoke about, then these that are trying to put fear inside of him, but there's no fear that is going inside of him. And to this point, Bhakt Namdev Ji is at that level, at that avastha of jehe maya mamata taji sabte peo, that is completely detached from everything, has no maya mamata, has no mind over him. This proved, he says, na ho tera pungda na tu meri mae. He says, na ho tera pungda. And what that means is that I am not your son then. If he had possessiveness, that this is my mother, and he felt that loneliness, that from that coming from that place of insecurity, but no, he had what? Kaho Nanak sunare manate hai kat brahm nivas. He had actually realized Waheguru Ji to be inside of his heart. He had that relationship. So for that reason, he says, na ho tera pungda. He says, I'm not your child, I'm not your son then, oh mother. Na ho tera pungra na tu meri mai. It can't be my mother that would say such a thing, that would want me to be unrighteous and give in to fear and let go of all of this. And he says, Pind pare to har gun gaye. He said, it doesn't matter, even if at this moment, at this point, my body was to break, if my body was to fall, if I was to die from this elephant, Pind pare to har gun gaye, but it would not stop me from singing the praises of God. I will still with every breath praise God, and I'm not going to give up on saying Ram's name. Sangat Ji, this is the perfect example of what Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Pacha Ji saying, for Bhakt Namdev Ji jeh maya mamata taji. Mamata, that possessiveness, that mine, mero, sabah kahata hai. He had none of that inside of him, but his mother did. We're able to see the opposite there, and we're able to see then the one that is shackled by all of this, mamata. That is then the one that is then udas, that is detached from all of this as well. This is a beautiful example for us to see how Bhakt Namdev Ji remained firm. And don't think here Bhakt Namdev Ji is being rude and saying, you're not my mother. He's saying, mother, he's trying to wake her up. He's saying, mother, how can this be? How can it be that you are my mother? It can't be if you're saying this. Mother, wake up as well. Oh, Nanak sunare mana tehe kat brahm nivas. The truth is, the day we realize that Brahm inside of us, then we'll have no fear, we'll have no mamata, we'll have none of these things. And then we'll actually be able to live in complete peace, and we won't then make any decisions out of possessiveness. We won't make any decisions out of fear. We'll go beyond all of these things. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.